sure you're isolating one of the tanks or just even one of the DPS. Nice flashbang from Fitz, doesn't find anything just yet, but Kaneki dies.
Ooh. And that's big too, because that's going to build into the wall that we're currently going to see from Creative, the window rather, I could say, and it's Fitz that finds two. Great start for Fitz to showcase that skill. I love the way that these two DPS players play into each other between Fitz and Prophet. I feel like they have looking really strong with the way that they're rotating through their ultimates. Despite that, 2U's going to be able to go right back to the rest of the team, and they're splitting the Hunters thin here, Jaws. The fact that you currently have Soul doing such a good job at finding these picks and Jester popping off, there's nowhere to run if you're the Hunters.
Yeah, Among.
They do flip it right back into their favor. Now they're buying some time. The D.Va Bomb also buying in some space. Gets rid of the Immortality field, but I like the way they rotate right into the Sound Barrier, because now you currently still have the rest of Dynasty holding on to this point, holding on to the front line, and Prophet, yeah, now found Monk. And Among now is gone. That's 3 down, 4 if you're the Hunters, and a way better position if you're the Dynasty, because although they gave that point briefly to the Hunters, they're able to flip it right back as quickly.
In time. Overtime is ticking very soon. 5% to go. Fizz is in the back line, and he gets punished by Leave.
He just held in right there too. Leave finds Fitz. That's a 5v6. Great D.Va Matrix though for the Death Blossom. It's going to be Kaneki who's found Prophet and Jester. At the same time here, you currently have the ult economy in favor as well to the Hunters, and they luckily flipped this point, but overtime already on board for the Dynasty, thanks to Animo, and that Lucio is going to have Sound Barrier very soon. The Deadeye, not going to find anyone, it's just going to create some space from Lee. Fitz has found Nisha, and that's big here, considering that Nisha could have had Sound Barrier here for this fight to help keep the sustainability. Just leaves Monk there as a sitting duck, and it's Prophet with the Death Blossom. Let it rip on the rest of the Hunters. Overtime now taking away, and nobody left from Dynasty to touch.
Oh man, Animo is putting up his beats way quicker than Isha is.
Damage output and being able to use those legs to run. It's gonna be Leave who's gonna back off of the situation. The Immortality field already used up from Monk. Nisha taking so much damage, and he's the first one to fall as Fitz finds his head. 2U's gonna follow up, and it's gonna look like the number advantage going in favor of the Dynasty. Despite this Matrix coming in from Monk, there's nobody there to follow up.
Oh man, yeah, that window is used way too late. That felt like such a waste from the amount of mitigation that the Hunters are running. Speed in though, Leave's got Deadeye.
And Prophet's got your favorite ult that you made note of.
Oh,
And he does
okay.
find a pick
All right.
off of Nisha. That call out the curse right there. He finds 2. He hurt you, John. And he was like, let me show you something real quick. But let's not ignore the fact that the rest of Seoul Dynasty just wiped out. It was all about positioning right there, and that's going to be the name of the game for Prophet who wants to stick on this point. The Sound Barrier to keep the rest of Hunters alive. I love the approach right there to follow with a Death Blossom. That's going to not only control some space, but put out a lot of damage for Monk to get this follow. Thanks to the Supercharger, too, that really enabled the rest of Hunters to take this point.
A really nice aggressive beat. As soon as that
speed boosting them onto the point. Now diving in, it's going to be Monk and Leave have that Deadeye, control some space as well as that flash. Is he finding anyone? No, it's going to be 2U though. He's popping off with a D.Va Bomb and found Monk and Among. That's huge here as 2U has not let loose. He's still being a terror, and Fitz has not been stopped yet. It's going to be a team wipe and another flip of the point. Only 10% left for the Dynasty to take this second round.
Is anybody able to touch? Oh, no! Wrecking ball!
No.
Among's gonna go down. That should
That's
be it. Nice spot out from the Dynasty there. You'd usually see with Monk only just reaching 60 now. Prophet, you can see there in the cam, he's calling out right now that they're all in the Mega Health Pack room. Leaves actually going super aggressive with Elsa in the front line. He's getting pocketed, and 2U and Prophet are going to go down.
Oh, that was so weird. I love the positioning that we just saw come out from the Hunters. They essentially sandwiched the Dynasty right there, and Elsa finalizing some picks. Now Fitz is going to meet Prophet back in the spawn with the rest of the Dynasty. Great way to take this first point, and with some time in the time bank too.
Yeah, look at the ult charge as well.
The Death Blossom, you really want to make sure that you could try to isolate 2U, because that's going to be a problem. Especially now that Prophet has this duplicate. He's about to get this D.Va Bomb right before the duplicate runs out, and Kaneki's out. Fitz told him to sit down, and that is indeed what he's doing in the spawn. Currently have a reverse situation with the Dynasty now winning this team fight, and it's going to be another reset that we have to see from the Hunters. Can Leave get out of time? He can't.
Nope.
He's gone. Goodbye, Leave. He is taking his leave, and another stagger going to go out.
I know.
Leave is nano boosted and trying to get into position. He breaks on the shield. It's going to be Jester who's taking a lot of that damage, but it's Prophet who gets the focusing beam first down on Kaneki, shutting him down before he could really use anything. He couldn't even use the Death Blossom. Prophet is quite literally unstoppable. Meanwhile, Fitz is terrorizing the ground with his gun. Amen has the minefields and is found too. Great extra credit on both support lines of the Seoul Dynasty, but you have nobody there to help commit and actually back you off here. And another stagger onto Elsa.
Really set up for an engagement. Speaking of which,
okay. I'm probably trying to actually cover where Fitz could have been leaving the spawn here. Currently see Nisha trying their best to try to revive Leave. Oh, he does it successfully, and he also has Monk to retreat to. Currently finding two here. It's going to be Among who finds Fitz and 2U. They trade that for Monk though, so now Monk won't be in the fight. It's just going to be up to Nisha, and Nisha falls too. The Bob actually being able to put on so much pressure despite these duplicates coming in. It's Leave who can't get this bomb until right now. He's going to charge in, but unfortunately it goes away right before his eyes. He has to back off. 2U has just been so impactful, whether if he couldn't just get on the point, maybe intimidated by the shield. Now it's overtime. They're forced to stay on the point at this time. Nisha's used up the Valkyrie already, and Monk is gone. Kaneki finds a pick without the Dragon Blade, but he still manages to dash right through Juster. Although losing numbers, you still have Nisha with the ability to res and still gets Leave in this fight. The number advantage actually flipping right back in favor of the Hunters. If they manage to stay in this fight and they do, it's Kaneki who doesn't get shut down. How are they able to do this after that start? What a way to solidify this. This fight is still going on here. You're not giving up just so soon, especially with this duplicate from Prophet. Fitz is dead too. That's going to be Kaneki and Fitz, both DPS gone for both these teams. Although with Prophet having this D.Va duplicate, you have a D.Va bomb to work with. You also have 2U that has another D.Va bomb. That's so much space that could be bought, and that can force them off of this point with overtime ticking away. Among does now find Jester and a ball for a ball ditto. Thanks to that Mercy being a difference maker, it's Nisha and Nisha's positioning that has been absolutely on point with these reses. Oh, the desperate Bastion pick. What's going on? It's looking like we're in a whole circus here, Jaws, and these fights are going on for so long. Neither of these teams are giving up.
Oh my goodness, someone end this torture for the Hunters. Kaneki's got the blade, he deflects the sleep. Creative's dead, he's going to be able to get the reset straight into the back lane. He does get stunned, but it don't matter. A D-suit onto 2U. Fitz is going to go down as well. Monk's going to finish this off with the Cole. I say that as Prophet finds one. Can he find another? He only needs one shot to kill off Leave. He's going to be able to get it. Oh my word, somehow, some way, Prophet stays alive, kills 3. And
it's going to be Prophet that they want to narrow down those focus on, especially since Animo is right there to help pocket him. Currently have Nisha, who's trying their best to keep Kaneki alive, but Monk has a nano boost, and going all in, it's going to be a Monk who has the boost on him. He's going to try to find Prophet. He successfully does some great tracking there. I love the fault that we're also seeing from Kaneki, and Monk cleaning up Animo. So many people who are on top of him. Despite 2U finding Monk, though, the number advantage is going to go in favor of the Hunters.
Okay, not too bad, though. 2 ticks on the board for the Seoul Dynasty. But yeah, what
as they do. Okay, it was very close right there. And now these ultimates are going to come online. Yeah, Kaneki needs to get out of that situation, especially since he's already booted out of that duplicate, and he doesn't have Monk. If he could pull off the res, and we do, Nisha's consistently managing to pull off these reses. Elsa goes down by Jester, who had that supercharger. Big anti, and that anti actually did it in for Creative and Jester there. That was a great fault that we had seen between Among and Leave. Although 2U constantly is that threat, holding on to the front lines. Is it enough here for Prophet to get this follow-up on? 2U's gone down, and that's going to be the Space Creator fallen, and a reset going back to the spawn if you're the Seoul Dynasty. What a hold
is it a reset?
We are seeing from the Hunters.
I don't think it's a reset. They're going to go straight back in. They're on the Wrecking Ball, and Prophet's full HP again.
Currently still have Nisha taking so much damage. The fall of 2 from Prophet, that was beautiful. TU making sure Nisha's out of this fight. And we're seeing some swap ups that has now allowed Dynasty to get right onto this point. They finally cap it. 3 minutes now added for this time bank to allow them to get. They're met with an anti. No follow-up onto Juster and 2U. It's so difficult when Prophet is so busy microwaving your supports.
Oh boy, Leave ends up going down. At least they trade Jester, but like you mentioned, Prophet is just on a tear.
He's unstoppable. They still have not been able to find him. You see the attempt from Elsa? He gets the mega health pack, but still staking on this point despite not being able to even deal a dent onto Prophet's health bar. He has the support of Animo's rally and creative, and this is the potential last opportunity that we're going to see from Hunters to actually hold this point before Seoul Dynasty take it home.
Yeah, they managed to get 2 ticks as well, Vicky. Monk's going to have Nano online rather soon. He throws the nade in. It's big, but no, they can't save Nisha.
No, that was so crucial too because he was aiming at Nisha and Elsa's gone and both tanks are gone from that D.Va bomb. It's 2U getting the support from the rest of the team. Seoul Dynasty now take it over the Hunters. Getting some of this damage to build into these ultimates that are necessary, but look at the difference though. You can really see Monk is closer to the Nano Boost in comparison to creative, and 2U goes down.
What a play.
That's huge here from Leaf. And I love the follow too because Leaf has that pocket from Nisha to really put out a lot more of that damage, and it's going to be the rest of Dynasty that get absolutely wiped out of the situation. What a change of pace from the Hunters.
That was really nice of okay. Backline of the Hunters looking so no.
Goodbye.
Oh my word. Okay. Super unlucky. Anyway, Nisha's dead now.
That is not what I expected. Among is back in this fight and rolling right behind Juster, but he's trying to contest the back lines of Seoul Dynasty. With both Prophet and Fitz down, though, it's definitely doable with the rest of Hunter taking full advantage of not only sandwiching Juster, but anti-ing him, taking a quick nap from Prophet. Wow, the amount of abilities that are coming out and making such a big impact for the Hunters right now. Another nap and Leave getting the follow-up with the focusing beam. Fitz gets hit by the anti, and so does Creative, and that actually costs Creative to fall. Luckily, before Fitz takes any more damage, he gets the Deadeye pick off of Kaneki, and a number advantage going in favor of the Seoul Dynasty. With the payload moving in, though, you currently have the Hunters having a lot of time to work with to push this payload.
It's like, you know, like, this is the thing. They're actually just building up to another Nano. They were taking so much damage at the time that now they're just going to get launched in.
They did it just in time here, too. It's going to be Leaf who dives into both of the supports, and this is exactly what they wanted. They're like, all right, we delayed the inevitable, but it's okay. We still have Leaf with this Nano Blade, and that is all she wrote. With Kaneki also closing things out. They're going to have so much space to work with, and you're going to see how the rest of the Hunters are going to be able to push all the way up into the spawn. Exactly, and the Death Blossom, too, is going to be able to isolate the rotation onto this payload and at least stop from getting contested. And here comes Kaneki, let it rip. It's going to be Jester who finds himself falling after Animo becomes a victim of Kaneki. This is the type of momentum that we need to see from this team, and it's going to be Monk who ends up closing out.
Just floats away. Look, there you go. There's another one. He's floating.
He wants. It's just none of his business, you know, just getting out of the situation. But that is his business. It's going to be Prophet who finds Kaneki, and now the number advantage in favor of Dynasty as they find 3. Closing in, though, they found all support at DPS. It's going to be Among who's going to be the last one there. And wow, what a way to take this point, though, with a lot of time in the time bank. Very similar, actually, to the assist. Supercharger coming in online. It's going to be Leaf who has the high ground, though. And Prophet, though, gets the reflect. Oh, wow. What a way to throw that right back in your face. That was Kaneki who had his eyes on Prophet, and unfortunately, he lost his support in the process. It's going to be Kaneki, though, that gets the revenge. He gets the headshot onto Prophet, and the Dragons to cut off the rotation right back into the fight. Fitz, though, unstoppable, still finding these picks. Despite losing Animo, they still have creative in this fight. Elsa does get Nano boosted, so he's going to be able to hold forward a little bit. Tries to isolate 2 over to the side. Fitz gets hit by an anti. He's backing out of that situation. Goes for the health package. It's Jester, who's not going to be in this fight with the shield to use here at least, but he gets demeched immediately. The Deadeye may be trying to buy some time, but it's Among who finds that pick off of 2U.
Valkyrie online for the Dynasty. I mean, yeah, Nano for the Hunters too. They can just Nano Kaneki, jump to the back line. Oh, dearie me, he gets slept. Look at them all guarding his body. Oh, and wow.
Well, Creative actually got put to, it looked like Creative got put to sleep and Anti too at the same time, and then Creative gets taken out. Luckily with that res though from Animo, he gets Creative back in the fight, but they've lost both of their DPS in the process because Animo was so fixated on getting that res instead. Leave gets a headshot onto TU, and they're running out of time.
There's the Nano engage, insta-kill onto Monk.
That was so much damage coming on thanks to that Nano boost. And here comes Kaneki with the Death Blossom. Can he get shut down? The Matrix isn't even going to be enough. He still fights 2U. You saw the fixation from 2U to make sure that that Death Blossom wasn't going to be enough of an impact. Luckily, they did funnel the Death Blossom over to the side room, and Jester's going to be able to close things off. Doesn't want to overextend with the... It can be crucial, the Bob now, to ensure that there's a second member on board to help out the rest of Dynasty secure the second point. Oh,
he canceled res. He canceled that res.
That's actually huge. That's huge, especially now that Prophet's taking care of Bob. That means that that extra member won't be on this fight, and it's going to be the Dynasty that are looking a lot better to take the second point.
Well, Nano wants to lead. Can he clutch? Can he clutch? He's looking for heads. Can't quite find it. Inisha ends up going down. Kaneki's dead too. This looks like it should be over. Second point capped for the Dynasty. That cancellation on the res from...
And he does so successfully. Nisha tries to get out of that situation. Oh, he's isolated. There's nobody to hook onto, and he gets caught out. Jester now noticing that he gets put to sleep, but the sound barrier at least keeps the rest of Dynasty alive. This is their opportunity now to full send this payload to the finish line. They avoid the D.Va Bomb, and Prophet is still a menace. They gotta shut down Kaneki, and they do so successfully here, Jaws. And this is exactly the opportunity that they need with the Nano boost from Monk, and the fact that Monk is in the backlines uncontested is actually going to help save the Hunters in this fight. They take control of the bomb fighting too. They're running out of time, Jaws. Less than 10 seconds for the Dynasty to take this payload to the finish line.
Bob just found 3 as Fitz goes down as well. This looks pretty much it. The Hunters are coming back in this series, Vicky.
And overtime now ticking away. Nobody left from the Dynasty to try to contest. Finally, a series on our hands and some momentum for the Hunters. Sleep, you're talking about how difficult it is to try to charge into those backlines, but they wake him up, and he has the minefields after getting his ultimate so quickly at the start of the game after that boop onto 2U, and Lee gets a focusing beam pick off of Jester. He gets the res, but at what cost? Animo falls down after trying to commit to that. Meanwhile, Jester may be still in this fight, but luckily with this duplicate that we're currently seeing from Leaf, he's on that Sigma. He tries to get this Gravitic Flux, may not have enough time for it. Oh, he has it at the very end. He still manages to call it out. It ends right as he sends them up, though. Leaf takes a lot of damage. He may want to back off to allow Yveltal to actually give him that support.
Backline. That Bob needs to be capitalized on from Dynasty, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to at all because of Gaga.
Wow. Wow, and the way that you currently have Leave and Monk also just creating chaos from the high ground. They're so fixated on Gaga that, oh, nice sleep right there, but they're so fixated on Gaga that the threat is coming in from above from Leave. He's taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Gaga cleans things up around the support lineup, and it's going to be both supports going down to the spawn 2U to meet them shortly. I love the way the Hunters are playing this.
SMG Andy.
Oh, no.
That sucks. That really sucks. At least take the 1v1, the honorable 1v1. There's the Flux. This should just end this point push. There's no way, especially with Prophet on the sidelines like this. He gets slept, but the team fight is as good as done. Nice little flashbang. And wow, what looks like a full hull from the Hunters almost there. Well, look at them all rotating through Bank now. Elsa sniffs it out quite quickly, but can't really do much about it. You see Prophet just taking the head off of Jimmy.
His second time, too. Prophet's just been on a tear, finding these heads quite quickly. Now with the minefields to try to block that rotation, it may be to no avail if they don't do something about Leaf soon, who Leaf's about to get duplicate, but he gets taken out right before he could do anything about it. He could have actually stalled for as long as...
Dive straight onto the Orisa or to the back line. There's the touch. OT is triggered, but 2U loses mech.
For how long, though, here? They do find 2 between the minefields, and Prophet finding Monk's head consistent with these headshots, but it's Leaf now having the duplicate, having the Ana. He gets booted off, but he still gets to sleep in the process, as well as finding creative and being a hand on taking care of Prophet. Oh, they're cleaning up this point, and it's Leaf getting
so
a 4K. How did he just get absolutely get a pull? Perhaps after getting that pull, it's going to be Animo taking some damage, hopefully getting out of the line of sight, having to pocket Jester, but he goes down as Elsa catches him off guard, gets a headshot, and now it's the rest of Hunters making their way in and making sure they waste no time to take this payload over to the first point. Completely the opposite of what we witnessed from Dynasty when they were on the attack. Gaga, Elsa, and Leave. Shortly, Jimmy's going to meet them with their ult bangs. to try to take this next choke point. If Prophet doesn't fall, though, hopefully he can stay alive, but he doesn't. It's Leaf getting some help from his Mercy.
Wait, he transforms into Mercy.
Still managed to get the res right in front of him, and he did. He gets taken out of it, and it's Jimmy with the Dragons who's found Fitz, the Supercharger. The way that the Dynasty are playing so forward, it's necessary. It's Prophet who's managed to pull out the duplicate and finding a 3.
Numbers going down, but the payload retreating in progress.
That was so scary. Also got antied and then took so much damage, and because of using the whole hog, he had no ability to heal himself. Yveltal is taken out with the anti, and he gets cleaned up right after that. That's why he was out of position right there. Meanwhile, though, still holding the front lines is the DPS for the Seoul Dynasty. They've cleaned up the Hunters and still taking away so much of that.
It's trying to force Prophet and Animo to play a little bit backwards. Saying that, beautiful anti-nade to actually take down Tuyu and Creative.
There's a huge trade, though, as Leaf takes care of the support lineup from Dynasty. That's going to take out the sustainability that is going to be necessary, especially since Jester just got antied. That's going to allow the Hunters now to
kill him here, surely. Yeah, Gaga ends up taking him out. Now one tank down already.
Yeah, and Leaf got out of their line of sight, too, while the rest of Dynasty was holding on to the high ground. This is crucial here. Look how close a payload is to getting to where it needs to be right before that point B. Yveltal getting the res, too, onto Jimmy. Two over to the side of the room, and he still manages to do it. And this is the beauty of seeing Echo on this duplicate, copying the D.Va, getting these D.Va bombs. That's going to be 2 out, despite the rest getting Fitz back into this fight. Is it going to be enough now that Gaga's taking care of Jester? Prophet, yeah, Prophet is still finding these picks. They've tried to isolate Animo, and they successfully take care of him. It's Elsa who has the D.Va bomb to create some space, and with the payload so close to the point, it may be necessary to let it rip here. Prophet is still uncontested, who's still been a menace. Here comes the D.Va bomb. Can they stop him right before he gets right back into the D.Va mech? Almost dealing that damage onto Tuyu. That was a little scary. Tuyu is low, but Jimmy's found that head onto Prophet, taking care of the threat that has been absolutely ridiculous onto Hunter's backline.
They should be able to take it here, though. A couple of meters remain. Yes, there you go. The Chengdu Hunters take map number 4, tying the series up to beautiful Immortality field there from Monk to save the day.
That was amazing there, because that could have been absolutely lethal. But take a look at the amount of damage that the Dynasty is taking. Despite Jester about to have the Supercharger, he goes down right before the Gravitic Flux. Oh, and some cinematic angles were added. It's going to be Elsa, who's the star of the show here, getting 2 picks. Creative goes down again. That just leaves Animo with the Sound Barrier to help the survivability. But they do find that pick onto Monk, but that seems to be the only pick that they could successfully find here, as they are going to Profit with the Blizzard now. Jester with the Supercharger finally getting into place after finding themselves losing in the spawn. Animo getting that boop pick off of Elsa, sending them straight back to the spawn. They do manage to flip the point. Luckily, though, 60%. Hunters getting some extra credit while they're at it. And with the Seoul Dynasty finally winning a team fight, they can get some ultimates on board soon.
Oh, I knew. Should be fine, though. They have a Mortality field.
Oh, wait, no, he was out of line of
Maybe
sight.
not.
They're not all right. Fitz had different plans. Jimmy still finds him, but that's going to leave a bigger impact. When you lose your DPS and you lose your main tank, and yeah, the rally from Yveltal, I mean, you've already lost Elsa and Monk. I don't know. Maybe trying to get out of that situation. Anything. Oh, tries to find Tuyu, and he does. Wow, the way that we're seeing these dead eyes just come out between Fitz and Leaf seems like a game of ping pong here. Now Fitz has found Monk. That's a big pick. Despite that, though, Monk still was able to use the window right before he goes down. Gaga to try to stack that with the Supercharger, but it's Jimmy controlling so much space with his Molten Core, and that's something else to know, especially on these control points, being able to block out these rotations onto the point, utilizing that Molten Core.
Prophet just gonna throw it straight in.
Oh yeah, it's a party here, and everyone's frozen. It tracks it to you that goes in after the Blizzard takes care of Elsa and Leaf. All thanks to Prophet setting that up. The Immortality field has been used, and it's going to be Seoul Dynasty now, cleaning things up around the Hunters, looking a lot stronger, evening things out with this percentage very soon. If the Hunters also Deadeye, usually you control some space, but meanwhile, Fitz had other plans. Elsa with the accretion, and then the follow-up to take care of Fitz. Currently have overtime on board, and it's going to be a Seoul Dynasty who have now put this point for themselves, and as well as putting themselves in the driver's seat for this fight. Overtime now, as the point has been flipped in favor of the Hunters. Dynasty, they're going to give this to them as they've lost Animo. They want to back off, but they will have the Sound Barrier to re-engage shortly for this overtime.
Oh, Monk just killed 2 people with 1 burst because they were so low through the window. That was really nice. OT is here. Chengdu Hunters looking to finish this first stage of Busan. 100 to 99, the Hunters. Poke damage. Seoul Dynasty, their idea of this comp is just sit on the point, bunker away, and just not take too much damage. Monk going down first, perfect pick.
Yeah, he got frozen too. He got caught out of position, and Fitz is going to be able to make sure that Monk won't get back to this fight, especially with Yveltal focused on pocketing Leave and Jimmy. And that's going to be crucial here as Leave is now going to be able to try to pull the trigger on the focusing beam. Does find Creative. That's 3 picks down and out from Seoul Dynasty. Luckily, though, as both DPS go down, they're going to try to even out this fight. It's 2U and Prophet who still hold the front lines. The fight going in favor of the Seoul Dynasty as they take control and they hold this point. It's going to be crucial as they get the step
away. Prophet on the legs to get back in time. Dragon Strike, oh, even Leave back on the legs to get back in time as well. Okay, they have Self-Destruct, they have the Dragons. Gaga touches, but he's already dead.
And that was not worth it. I mean, they just were able to focus on Gaga. They forced out the overtime, exactly what they had to do, especially since they're sitting at 0%. But it's looking like the Seoul Dynasty now have finally figured things out around the Hunters, potentially even things out to 1-1 around. But as we do see a cleanup around the point, 2U has just been so consistent on isolating these rotations onto the point, getting so many of these picks. They do take
6K or something, okay? I'm not going to call it. Point is being contested currently. Oh, Prophet just dominating Leave. Not quite a 1v1 as there is an Ana in the kill feed. Oh, Yveltal kill him. Oh, he doesn't get away with it, unfortunately. Gesture comes back in to save the day. And with 2 people down now for the Hunters, looking pretty good for Seoul Dynasty on this point.
That was unfortunate there, especially since they've lost Yveltal. That's going to leave Monk for the sustainability. And I don't think it's going to be enough. He's trying to back off in time and hopefully successfully gets out of that situation with Yveltal coming out of spawn, but it's not enough. Fitz finds him asleep. Antied him, waited for Animo to come in to stun him, and then make sure he could not get out of the situation. Oh, here goes the Nanovisor that he made mention of. He already finds Leave. He's managing to just put on so much damage. Finding 2, and also the follow from Fitz and Just actually has the Immortality Field coming out. Yveltal has a Valkyrie to help the sustainability, but Jimmy takes a lot of damage. He survives, which is one into the Gravitic. Yeah, the Creative is gone. They set Elsa's Gravitic Flux. Jimmy goes down to 2U. For the Power Driver, though, Gaga's putting in so much damage, but Monk has gotten so is Jimmy, which that just leaves Yveltal for that sustainability. You can see how he's trying to hold on to Gaga. We're seeing so many trades, but it's going to be Seoul Dynasty that still have that number advantage in their favor, despite 2U going down and the overtime taking away. They got to stay on this point, or else this point is going to go in favor of Dynasty.
Just like that, Seoul Dynasty stop the complete reverse sweep from the Chengdu Hunters. I mentioned they really made them work for it, and that they did. Oh, head in hands for Gaga there.
Wow.
He knows the position he was put in. Good God, that couldn't have been any closer. Not only are we seeing